you go check on the, you know, sir?
Clayton County Magistrate Court now in session.
The Honorable Judge Gardner is now presiding.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing for the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it's possible that the crime has occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's move over to the ladies' side and we can get started. Let's see, who do we have first? It's Miss Chaplin.
Your Honor, I don't believe they're up and running yet. I just sent somebody over to go check on it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought they were up. You know what? We only have, I think, 5 ladies.
That's correct.
So, let's just do a pivot. I've noticed that when it rains, there tends to be an issue over on the ladies' side. What I'll do is this, just so that we're not just sitting here with dead air. I'm going to start with the men, and when and if they get up and running, we can switch over to them.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start with Mr. Baptiste. Or Baptiste.
Yeah. Come here. He's coming up, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of robbery by sudden snatching. This is a felony offense. I've set a bond at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And I have to give you this, I guess, advisory. This date may change because that's the week of Thanksgiving. And so I'm not totally certain as to what all calendars will be running that week. But if the preliminary hearing calendars are there and you have not posted bond and gotten out of jail, you'll end up being in a preliminary hearing during that week, but you will know, okay? There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Lila Evans. So you understand that?
Your Honor, can I speak? She already supposed to stay.
Hold on. After I finish telling you what I need to tell you, I'll give you the opportunity to speak until you can't speak anymore, okay? So you're going to have the November 22nd preliminary hearing. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I cut you off. Please tell me what you wanted to tell me.
Your Honor, sir, I know we're not supposed to discuss our case, but I really don't see why I'm here. This person that told the cops that I had snatched her clothes out of her hand, women clothes, they just took that and ran with it and came and gave me a felony. Now, what am I supposed to do with this? This woman supposed to stay away from me because she done already damaged my car and my mama's car. They didn't say nothing about that. I said, I got a protective order warrant. When she came to my door, I asked her to leave. So the cops just started surrounding me. And he said, well, we can just so casual, like, oh, well, we can give him a snatching by a robbery by snatching. I said, excuse me, sir. This lady already has a stay away warrant from me. She's not supposed to be at my house.
She has a stay away warrant from you from, hold on, sir. Let me get the question out.
I'm sorry, I'm just so excited.
Mr. Batiste, take a breath. I am not here to be your enemy or fight you about anything. I'm here to gather information. So from what situation was she supposed to stay away from you? Was it something in Clayton County?
Yes. Forest Park had to arrest her because she threw a brick through my mama's window. She's on probation currently for it now. She's supposed to have a stay away order from me now. I just don't understand how someone could just say something. And I even told the police this. They just say something and I have to go to jail. I don't have nobody here. I gotta do my best.
Mr. Baptiste, I'm gonna ask you to take a breath again. Okay. Is this a contentious matter between you and I? Meaning, are you and I in a battle argument? Are we?
Oh, absolutely not, Your Honor.
Okay. So, sir, information is a thing that helps me, not the aggression, not the bravado.
I don't mean to come off as aggressive, sir, but I just feel like this is wrong. That's the only thing I'm saying, Your Honor.
Which I appreciate that. And that's all that I'm trying to get to the bottom of. So I'll tell you this. I'm gonna look this up. Number one, you're right. It was about clothing. So number one, I'm gonna reduce the bond down to 5,000.
Thank you.
Number two, I'm going to look into this to see if there in fact was an order in place, but I can't do that right now while everybody's waiting and while we're on the camera. If I look into this, and I'm going to look into Miss Evans, and if there is a stay away provision, I may consider dismissing this. But if you knew that she was not supposed to be around you and she was, that's a you problem. That's not a Clayton County problem.
She came to my house, sir.
So what should you have done? What should you have done when she came to your house and you knew that there was a stay away order in place?
Exactly what I did. The only thing I didn't do was call the police this time because I didn't want the girl to go.
No, that's the only thing you should have done was
I
call
just
the
told her to leave,
police.
Your Honor. I just told her to leave so I don't have to call the police.
No. If there's a stay away provision in place and that's something that you really care about, your duty was to call the police and let the police deal with it. And you know what? She'll be in jail for aggravated stalking right now. But if you choose to do what you want to do, then as a judge, I'm like, well, he's trying to use us, meaning the judicial system, as his guard dog.
No, sir, Your Majesty, that's exactly what I'm not trying to do. But I can't believe by sparing someone, they turned around and just put me in jail for a felony. That's crazy. I never had no felony. I never got convicted of one.
So let me ask you this. What did you learn from that experience?
Next time, call the police, but I didn't really come up like that. But I know I should have called.
Hey, you're the person in the orange jumpsuit
Right.
talking to a judge.
Right.
So, hey, if that's how you want to live your life, then that's how your life will be lived. But I'm not here to tell you how to be an adult, or I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you that there are consequences to actions and inaction. Okay, so you can't blame if a judge gave you a stay away for her to stay away from you. If a judge did that, judge supposed to be sitting at your house? Are we supposed to have the police sitting at your house?
Not at all.
Okay. All right, sir. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor. So my bail is set at $5 grand, so I can call my mama right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Sure with
you
that.
can. Okay. The ladies have come back up. You're free to go, sir. The ladies have come back up, so let's switch back to the ladies' side. We only got 5 people on the ladies' side.
We here, Judge. Sorry about the delay. Computer was acting up.
No problem. So I'm just gonna give the ladies an abbreviated synopsis of what we're doing here.
I'm clear. I turned around.
Okay. Okay, ladies, this is the first appearance hearing for the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm a judge in this court. I'm not here to determine your guilt or innocence or to talk anything about trial or determining the outcome of your case. I'm here to tell you what you're charged with, give you further court dates, and see if you need an attorney. Most of you, and I think all of you, will have the ability to post bond, and you can post that bond by cash, commercial, or property. You also have the right to remain silent, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to an indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to also have the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense. Finally, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. I'm going to tell you your charges. I'm going to give you the court dates, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak at the end of whatever I have to say to you. So if you will not cut me off, it'll make this process run a lot smoother than if you're asking questions every 2 seconds. So if you've got a question, you're certainly free to ask. The first person I have is Miss Chaplin. Ms. Chaplin, ma'am, based upon the facts of this case, I've gone back and forth as to whether I was going to grant you a bond or deny your bond. Or based upon the allegations, I'm going to set you're charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault, which I'm going to set a bond of $10,000 apiece for each of these counts. So that's a $20,000 bond. Are you the primary caregiver for your children?
I am, yes, sir.
Are their fathers around? Well, one is an adult, but the other one is about, looks like 18, 17, 18.
Both of them, 118 and 120. They have the same father, their father not in their life.
This is, ma'am, this is, as a father, this really is troublesome to me. It's troubling, the allegations. And I say that to say that I'm going to place a stay away provision on the bond for both of these young men. So there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from a Jawan Burton and a Jaden Burton. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm sorry, did you say no? Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am. Ms. Kilgore. Ms. Kilgore, ma'am, you charged with 1 count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Kanasia Ansley. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Let's see, Ms. Kennard. Ms. Kennard, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery. I set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
there's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from an Amari Wright Shiley. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I may have placed your form in the wrong file or the wrong stack.
It's okay.
I did. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. So I don't have to actually come to court on November 23rd. I need to just check the mail and make sure with the new court date. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, if you bond out, your case is, the technical term is it's bound over to state court by operation of law,
Okay,
which means it goes to the state court, and it'll get assigned to a judge in the state court. And because I don't know what judge it'll get assigned to, and I don't know their calendar, I can't set you a date for what may happen in the future.
I understand.
Okay, anything else, ma'am?
So I can't go back to my house, in other words.
It's a stay away provision to stay away from Amari Wright Shidley. Wherever that person is, you shouldn't be there.
Okay,
Okay, now, if this is like just a one-off thing and nobody, it's just something that just happened,
yes,
the person who's the alleged victim can contact the solicitor's office and tell them that they're not afraid of you and they don't care if you come back in the solicitor's office. If they agree, they will do a consent order or consent bond, and they'll ask for the conditions to be changed, and a judge will sign it. I mean, judges don't, by and large.
I'm cool with staying away. I just need to be able to go get some of my items, my work clothes, things of that nature out the house. So I don't want to get in trouble in the process of doing that.
Okay, so what you need to do in that regard is to make arrangements with the sheriff's department as you're bonding out, so that there's someone from law enforcement that is there
Gotcha.
for you to get your stuff and you can leave.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, man, you're free to go back.
All right.
Is it Michelle? Miss Michelle?
Yes, it's Miss Michelle.
Okay, you're charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct and 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for the disorderly conduct charge and $4,000 for the criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, which is a felony offense. So you're going to have a total bond set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from, and I apologize if I mispronounce the name, but Timothy Ebohim?
Evelina.
Oh, Eboheman, thank you. But do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You said no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Are you currently working, ma'am?
Not right now.
Okay, so you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Is it Miss Penix?
Tenant, yes.
Penix. Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of driving under influence of alcohol. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense, and 1 count of improper lane change. Bond is going to be set at $500. So that's a total bond of $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon operation of law if you bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
That should be it, Judge.
Okay, thank you for your assistance and your patience, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let's switch back over to the mail side. With Mr., is it Bibiano? Uh-oh,
He's coming up, Your Honor.
okay. Sir, you're charged with one count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Fior Mayo Soldado. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, I think they don't.
He's gonna need a translator, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let's put him to the end. Sir, you may have to get continued over until tomorrow. The interpreter is currently tied up in another proceeding, but we're going to place you to the end, and hopefully the interpreter will be done by then. But if not, I'm going to do a continuance order to have you moved over to Tuesday. Okay. All right. Mr. Clark.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Well, it's not afternoon yet. Don't push me that far. We're gonna try to get this done before we get to afternoon. Sir, you're charged with one count of failing to register. The bond's gonna be set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, I can't, but I haven't, I would like to talk to you in regards to that, have the opportunity to speak on that, because this is not right.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna let you speak to me about that. Your preliminary hearing date, because this is a felony offense, your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. If you're able to bond out, that date will get changed. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I do, but I'd like to explain what's going on.
I said I'm gonna let you speak. That's why they make white out. I can change anything that I do, okay? All right, so you do qualify for a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what is it, Mr. Clark?
There was a misunderstanding in the whole entire situation. I was residing at 7085 Georgia's Way. I have been that way since I've been here in the state of Georgia. I have been up to par in my compliance with registration. My last registration was September 28th, 2021. I reported here to the sheriff's department about a week ago on my birthday. They didn't tell me anything about me having a warrant for anything. When the information was read to me when I got here to the jailhouse, they said that my mother said that I wasn't reside there. My mother has been very spiteful. Things have not been going away with her and my sister. It had nothing to do with me. And she told an officer that came by that I had not been residing there when I had. On top of that, when I came home, she had never told me anything about anybody showing up. So she was just being completely spiteful. And what proves that she's being spiteful is that I went and registered I've been registered and I registered on my birthday. And the people, the sheriff that registered me didn't even have an issue with me. They didn't say, no, we have a warrant, don't register. They went ahead with it. So I have been in compliance all this time for almost 30 years, and I'm 51. I just turned 51. And that's an extremely long time for somebody to be dealing with this type of situation when I'm waiting on California to change my outcome. Okay, I have never been a threat to society. I'm sure the system has been dealing with me, and they know. My wife and my girlfriend have brought my paperwork up here showing that I am up to par with my registration. So this is not right for me. That's what my mom said, and there's no probable cause. There's no grounds for that. I'm just saying, I have never been charged for nothing like this. Please give me a break and at least let my mom show the paperwork that I have registered. I did that and have continuously. This is just my mom saying that.
Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
Take a breath.
I love my mom. I don't know why she's doing this to me.
Mr. Clark. Take a breath.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of the reasons that we appoint lawyers at this early stage is that so people can defend themselves. I'm not the person as a judge that will go out to your location with a flashlight and start looking into what's going on and what's happening. Okay. So, and I'll be with you in 1 second, Ms. Porter. Two things need to happen. One, you need to speak to your lawyer about everything you just told me. Two, you need to have a residence that is registered where the person will not, as you have alleged, lie to you.
And I did.
Oh, not to you, I'm sorry, not lie to the police and say that you don't live there.
And I did. And let me say real quick, on my birthday, a week ago, I just changed my residence. I just moved to Noonan, Georgia with my girlfriend. And the sheriff department allows that change. They did it themselves. So I am up to par. I don't no longer live in Clayton County. I live in Noonan, Georgia now. And I had changed that on September 28, 2021.
So, Mr. Clark, the bond that I set for you is the bond that I set for everyone with this charge, okay? I'm not withholding bond. I'm not having you sit in jail. If there's anything that you have to pay based upon what you're saying, it's because your mother said something, but you made that decision to be at that location and have that as your address. So those are decisions that you made.
But what I'm saying is that address was me and my sister's address. That was not my mom. My mom came from Las Vegas and was just staying there, and the officer, whoever came there at that time. All I'm saying is I have a right to due process and equal protection under the 14th Amendment. Now, just this woman saying
Mr. Clark, do you actually know what those words mean?
Yes, I do. I studied law.
Because you're getting due process. You're being granted a bond. You're being given the opportunity to come into court and to show that these allegations against you are wrong.
But you're not considering the document.
That is due process.
What about that I just registered on 28th for my birthday? And the fact that my mother doesn't live there, she doesn't even have a lease there. She's not even qualified to say that. She's not.
So you know what you should do, Mr. Clark? You should sue the heck out of your mother. You should sue the heck out of her so that she has to pay for all of the stuff, because it sounds like you're claiming defamation. That's what it sounds like you're claiming. That's, you know what, as due process. You can sue your mother and you can recover every dime that you had to spend. Mr. Clark, you need to understand how this stuff works.
that somebody can just say something, and just because she's my mom, even though I wouldn't register, even though I'm in compliance on my birthday, September 28th, I've been, and the sheriff did not say that I was in violation. Where's my due process? Why did they register me then?
Mr. Clark, from what I hear is that the police showed up at the residence that you said that that's gonna be where I live.
And
And
they
that
have never had an issue. They have never had an issue until my mom.
Mr. Clark,
Yes, sir.
I got the black dress on. So I'm gonna win whatever argument that you may be trying to have. And I'm trying to tell you that you need to calm down. I'm trying to help you get to where you need to go and where you're trying to go. It's no different than you asked me, hey, where's the McDonald's on 138? And I said, well, hey, you got to go down here. But I hadn't heard that. Nobody told me that. They didn't tell me I had to go down that. Look, you don't want to ask me for the directions.
No, I'm
You're the
saying
one
I
trying to
had
get to
already-
McDonald's, not me.
But what I'm
You're the
saying,
one trying to get out of jail. You're the person that's trying to resolve your situation, not me. So you can get as angry as you want. The police did what they were supposed to do. They
But they
showed
were-
up at the address that you said that
and I
you,
tried that. And I had to resign.
sir, you cut me off one more time. This is it. This is it.
Yes, officer.
The police officer showed up at the address that you listed. A person who seeming to have authority told the police you don't live there. So that's a false statement. If she doesn't live there and she's telling the police she doesn't live there, that's a felony offense. She also defamed you. That's a civil claim that you can pursue. So if you don't want to go after your mama, don't talk bad about the police that's just doing their job. They're doing their job. That's all they were doing that day. If your mother had told the truth based upon what you said, you wouldn't be here. But she lied. How does it become a police problem that she's lying on you? At the address that you gave them.
Because I had no idea that she.
Don't work that way. You don't have to know that somebody is lying upon you. How is it the officer's fault that arrived at that location that you put on paper and your mother was there and she lied on you? How is it that officer's fault?
It's not the officer's fault. I wouldn't.
Thank you. Thank you. Whose fault is it?
It's my mother's.
So what you gonna do about it?
I had.
You gonna sue her? Are you gonna sue her? Are you gonna seek an incident report for her
Yes.
arrest?
If it comes to that, yes.
What do you mean? If it comes to that, it's already came to that.
Yeah.
We're past that point.
The first step I made, Your Honor, is I changed my residence anyway because they
Yeah,
had.
you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it, Mr. Clark. So we're just wasting time right now. I said a lawyer for you. And I would encourage you to pursue whatever legal means are available to you. And if you don't do that, then hey, can't wait till the next time it happens.
Can my bill be lower than 10?
No, sir. No, sir. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. So we have the interpreter on board now. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Miss Menendez Porter? I've never met you before, but it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Honor.
So who are the two individuals? I'm sorry, I thought I wrote it down on a Post-it note, but I've been shuffling papers around.
It's gonna be Martinez Jesus, and then it's gonna be Viviano Honorio.
What position is Mr. Martinez Jesus, sir?
He is, If you have the jail's appearance list, he is 5 up from the bottom. And he's charged with failure to yield, driving vehicle without a license, and a seatbelt violation. And I can give you those warrant numbers if you need them.
It's okay, Your Honor. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure what kind of calendar I have. I received like 20 of them this morning, so
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
I understand. There's no problem. Who is the other person, Deputy?
His last name is Viviano.
Viviano.
That one I found.
Huh. That one I don't see. With the Viviano with the V?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
With the B as in boy, Judge.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was the person that we just dealt with. Let's bring Mr. Viviano up.
I said that, Your Honor. What do you need?
Bibiano, Honorio Garcia Bibiano.
We're gonna get him right now, but we still have Mr. Martinez.
Okay, you got Mr. Martinez ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's bring Mr. Martinez. Jesus Hernandez Martinez.
Martinez.
Okay, sir, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor, ¿usted puede oír y entender a la intérprete? Yes.
This is your first appearance hearing before Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es la primera comparecencia que tiene en esta audiencia de la Corte de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
I'm not here to determine your guilt or innocence.
Yo no estoy aquí para determinar su inocencia o su culpabilidad.
I'm here to tell you that you've been charged with the offense of driving with no license.
Estoy aquí para indicarle que usted tiene los delitos de que se le acusan de manejar sin una licencia válida para conducir.
The bond is going to be set at $1,000 for that offense.
Por ese delito se va a fijar una fianza de $1,000.
You've also been charged with 1 count of failing to yield the right of way to an emergency vehicle.
También se le acusa por no haberle cedido el paso a un vehículo de emergencia.
Bond is going to be set at $500 for that offense.
Por ese delito es una fianza de $500.
You've also been charged with 1 count of violating Georgia's seatbelt law.
También se le acusa por un cargo de no llevar puesto el cinturón de seguridad como lo indican las leyes de Georgia.
Bond is also going to be set at $500.
Esa fianza también se fijará a $500.
You have a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Usted tiene una fianza de $2,000 como total. ¿Cree usted que pueda usted pagar esa fianza para salir bajo fianza?
Ya está cancelada.
¿Cómo?
Ya fue cancelada.
Yeah, it's already been paid.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd.
El 23 de noviembre es cuando usted va a tener su audiencia preliminar.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Pero esa fecha va a ser cancelada cuando usted salga de la cárcel y van a emitir otra fecha en que va a tener que comparecer al tribunal.
Perdón, ¿cómo? ¿Esta fecha será en que ya salga?
So there's going to be a new date when I go out.
Yes.
Sí, va a haber otra.
I don't know what date will be given because it's going to come from the state court of Clayton County.
Pero yo no sé todavía cuándo va a ser esa fecha, porque esa viene de la Corte Estatal de Clayton. Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted quiere ver si califica para que le podamos nombrar un abogado de oficio?
No.
No,
Sorry.
Do you
It's
have
fine.
Do you have any questions for me, sir?
¿usted tiene alguna pregunta que hacerme, señor?
Sí, o sea, si se pagó la fianza, yo voy a salir bajo fianza, ¿qué día? ¿Qué fecha?
If I go out on bond, which date am I getting out?
Today.
Hoy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You're free to go back.
Gracias, señor. Se puede regresar.
Do we have Mr. Bibiano? Mr. Bibiano, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Viviano, ¿usted puede oír y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
You're charged with 1 count of battery.
Usted tiene un cargo por agresión física.
The bond is set at $5,000.
Esta fianza está fijada por $5,000. I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you repeat the amount?
5,000.
$5,000.
Do you believe you can post that bond?
¿Usted piensa que pueda pagar esa fianza para salir?
Sí.
Yes.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a fior mayo salado.
Hay una para que pueda permanecer bajo fianza. Hay una orden que se mantenga usted alejado de fior mayo salado.
Do you understand that, sir?
¿Usted entiende esto, señor?
Dijo que me tengo que mantener alejada de Flor Mayo Salado.
So you said I need to stay far away from fior mayo salado?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
If you do not stay away from him, you could receive a felony charge of aggravated stalking and remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted no cumple con eso, de no tener nada de ningún tipo de contacto con esa persona, se le puede acusar de acecho con agravantes, que es un delito grave, y lo traen de nuevo a la cárcel.
Okay.
Okay.
Your preliminary hearing date is set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201.
La audiencia preliminar a la que tiene que comparecer está fijada para el 22 de noviembre a las 8:30 de la mañana en la sala del Tribunal 201.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
Pero si usted sale, le van a dar una nueva fecha al salir del tribunal que le van a enviar. ¿Entiende?
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Quiere usted que yo revise a ver si usted califica para que un abogado de oficio lo pueda representar?
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that will be fine.
Are you currently working, sir?
¿Usted actualmente trabaja, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
¿Cómo cuánto gana usted por hora?
Ay, como $20.
About $20.
Okay, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Usted califica y voy a nombrar a un abogado de oficio para que lo represente.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're free to go back.
Está bien, señor, se puede regresar.
Tengo una pregunta.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Sí,
Si
señor.
si pago mi fianza, yo voy a salir.
So if I pay my, the bond, can I get out?
Today, yes, sir, you can.
Hoy, sí, señor.
Okay, tengo otra cosa por decir.
I have one more thing to say.
Yes.
Sí.
Flor Mayo Salado, ella es mi esposa.
Flor Mayo Salado is my wife.
So, cuando pasó eso, ella estaba tomada, pero yo no la agredí, como ella dice.
But when this happened, she was drinking, but I didn't accosted her, as she said.
So she can contact the solicitor's office and ask them to change this condition, the bond condition.
Ella puede llamar a la oficina de los fiscales del condado para que ellos modifiquen esto de que no haya contacto.
Currently, because she's listed as the victim and I have not had the opportunity to speak to her, I cannot change this condition.
Actualmente, como ella aparece como la víctima y yo no he podido hablar con ella, esta condición permanece así. Ok.
Okay, so you're free to go back.
Se puede regresar. Thank you.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Miss Menendez Porter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have a good day.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go back, Mr. Colburn.
Thank over. Come on up.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you? I didn't lost some of my forms. Sir, you charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of simple battery. The bond for the criminal trespass is going to be set at $1,000 and the bond for a simple battery is going to be set at $4,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a IA Asia foreigner. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You currently working, sir?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
Probably like 11.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Frazier?
Yeah, you can go back to your room.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Mr. Frazier. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, I can.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jessica Frazier. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir, I do. Me and my wife, we are very much in love, and I'm studying for real estate. And she's going to Clayton. We are originally from Birmingham, and I know that ignorance is not, don't hold you accountable for the law, but me and my wife, we are the only 2 people that's living over here in Georgia, and she only called the authorities to have a report to give to the rent office so they can fix the door. And the officer said that because he was called out there, and in light of the situation, he has to take me, even though he told me that he really didn't want to.
He had to. And like I said, me and my wife are the only two people here. I have no one else here to post my bail. And I would have to only go through her because we the only two people here in Georgia.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that question in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Did you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, the next thing is gonna be a little bit, may sound a little bit harsh,
Okay.
but when you invite third people into your relationship, you invite another decision maker.
Yes, sir.
So calling the police because of that, if the police have to do what the police have to do. Okay. So you're in the same boat where if this is like something where you and your wife are not having problems, she can contact the solicitor's office. Just so you understand from the judicial side of it, I never met you before and I don't know what happened. All I know is something happened yesterday. I can read on paper. So I don't know if that's out of character or that's just another day between the two of you. So when we place the stay away provision on the bond, is because we don't want whatever allegedly occurred the day before to flare back up because you're getting out of jail today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it becomes sort of that thing of you know, I say it often, but you're an adult and your wife is an adult. And the last thing that y'all should be doing is calling the police.
Right, right. Yes, sir.
So
yeah, we know better now. It's different where I come from. But living over here in Clayton County, we know right. We know better next time. We know to handle it ourselves next time. Like I talked to her before, but now that you put this provision on there, I can't even speak to her anymore. So I don't know if it's going to work. So but we'll figure it out. Like you said, I guess you got to call the people and get that taken care of. But I got to focus on how I'm gonna get out of here when I don't have anybody in Georgia.
if she wants to make arrangements for you to post bond through a bonding company, she totally can do that. She can't come and bond you out. But I'll tell you this, if she makes the arrangements and she's the person that's on the bond with the bonding company, and I don't know you, and I don't know your wife, so you got to take this with a grain of salt. But the next argument, she can yank you up, and you're back in jail because she comes off the bond.
Yes, sir. That's totally understandable. And you won't have to worry about that. Like this whole situation was just a misunderstanding on the ignorance of the law of Clayton County on our part. And the police officer bring it in. Like he said that, man, you seem like a good guy. This whole situation was just misunderstanding. So.
Yeah, and just so you know, it's not the law of Clayton County, it's the law of Georgia.
The state, yeah, that's what he said. He said the state. You're right. I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. But you said that she can post my bond and I can get out.
If she's going through a bonding company.
Yeah, she's probably already up there now.
But I would just tell you to. I wouldn't do it. I have my grandmother or somebody, because the thing is, you're before me.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever happened, you're before me. And do you really want that to be the thing that's hanging over your head? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't understand your line.
So if she goes to the bonding company, but she decides that she wants to come off of your bond.
Oh, out of spite is what you're saying.
Yeah, you go back. You go back to jail.
You're right. I understand where you're coming from.
So, hey, I mean, say word to the wise should be sufficient, but I would let you leave on those words, sir.
Thank you, sir. As long as you allow that to happen, I appreciate it. I'll cross the other bridge when I get there, but I appreciate it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Harley.
Good morning, how you doing, sir?
Good morning, sir. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And I'm sorry, you're charged with one count of terroristic threats and acts. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. The bond for the criminal trespass is going to be set at $3,000. So that's a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, to stay away from a Latasha Marshall. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
No, I do have a question.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay, I live at the residence. Well, the incident was that me and my wife's sister, we got into an altercation.
Oh, hold on. I don't want you to get too deep into the facts of your case.
I was at my house where me and my wife stayed. So me and my wife's sister, we had some words going back and forth. So, you know, I left the house for a second. So once I got back to the house, the locks was changed on my door. So I knocked on the door and I kicked the door down. So once I did that, her sister called the police. So she called the police, and my wife was like, just leave so you won't get locked up. We're gonna get it sorted out, whatever. So man, her sister was going back and forth. But her sister was talking on the phone like she's my wife, but she's not. So
Is your wife's sister is Miss Marshall?
her last name Marshall too, yes.
Okay.
But she was at our house though. And you know, I was calling my wife and she was being disrespectful. We had some words and stuff back and forth. And I didn't know that I was supposed to stay there when the police came. So I called the police as well and gave my side of the story. I was saying, hey, look, I live there too. That name, that address is on my ID. I received it. I have proof, verification, everything that I live there. So you have all right to go in your house by any means, but you wasn't supposed to leave. I didn't know that. I was ignorant to that fact. I just listened to what my wife said, just leave the house. But now, because it was in the heat of the moment, the terrorist threat, I never threatened no one life. You know,
Yeah.
I told her to get out of my house. You know, that's what I told her, but my wife just told me to leave. So I won't get into trouble. So I was just trying to get some leniency because I didn't understand what I was supposed to do in that situation at my house. I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
So your wife is Stephanie Marshall.
No.
Your wife is Latasha Marshall.
Yes.
Okay. So the way that this is written up is that the allegation is that you threatened to kill Latasha Marshall in the presence of Stephanie Marshall.
I never did that, sir.
And that's why we appoint lawyers so you can defend yourself. But Mr. Harley, do you really believe that this is the environment that's best for you?
Well, at this time, like I heard you saying, inviting a third party into your relationship makes another decision maker. So her sister being involved in our relationship and me having close comfort and always having something to say about everything, she's making decisions on her own basically, and she called the police. And she has no right. My wife didn't call the police. I did not say that. My wife didn't verify that or nothing. Me and my wife spoke. She said, call down there and make your statement and tell them that, you know, what your side of it. And I called the reporting officer. I asked him, I said, do I have to turn myself in? He said, don't worry about that right now. But there's a warrant out there. And, I told them where I was at currently, and they came and picked me up. But.
Right, which is the right thing for you to do at that point. You're young enough to be my child. So can I speak to you like a father would speak to his son?
Yes, sir.
Don't put yourself in this position. You don't have to, your life doesn't have to be lived this way. And to the extent that you allow that to happen, you're going to be seeing me on a recurring basis. So you just have to make a decision about what is best for Mr. Hartley and his life. And I guarantee you, it's not that my wife and her sister are lying upon me with the police.
It's not my wife, it's her sister.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. The way, what I read in the warrant, there was no break between the two of them as to the story. Now, she may be telling you something different. There's no break in the story. Okay? So what you're saying, if we're gonna add up votes out of 3 people, your wife, her sister, and you're losing 2-1. Now, you take that and whatever it is you want to deal with it. But I can't live your life for you. You get to live your own life. That's the best thing about America. We get to live our own life. And if things go bad, they go bad. They go good, they go good. Am I making sense to you, sir? Okay. All right, you're free to go back.
What do I have to do as far as like,
Getting your stuff?
like getting my stuff, my kids, and like, how do I?
This is the point where I say, look, I wasn't around when all of this stuff was being built, right? All I can do is make decisions based upon what's placed before me. So there's a stay away provision on the bond. That means you've got to stay away from her because your sister is not listed as the victim. Latasha Marshall is listed as the victim. If there's stuff that you need to get from the home, you need to make arrangements with the sheriff's department when you're bonding out so that someone can go over with you and get your stuff. Moving forward, I don't know you, I don't know your wife. I don't know if this is just an offshoot or if this just something where your sister-in-law is now living up in the house. I don't know. But you can't go around her. And if you do, you're looking at felony charges of aggravated stalking, where you'd be sitting in jail.
Well, can I get a lower bond because I didn't know that I was supposed to be my residence?
Sir, the bond that I set for you is the bond I set for everybody on these offenses. So you're right where everybody else will be. So I'm not gonna lower it.
You said the bond what again, sir?
I'm sorry.
And you said the bond was what again?
$3,000 for the criminal trespass, damage to property, and $5,000 for the felony terroristic threats or acts.
Okay, thank you.
All right, free to go back. Mr. Houston or Houston? Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Can't say yes or no. I was going to speak.
Okay, well, we'll save that till the end. There's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Sharonda Yancey. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201, the date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
How much do you make per hour?
1450.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what was your question?
Okay, so this offense right here, my mother, Sharonda Yancey, she wanted to drop the charges. So before they indicted me 2 or 3 days ago in Gwinnett County, she had already been tried to call and drop the charges for the warrant they put out. But they kept telling her that I would have to wait to come to court for her to represent herself to say that she wanted to drop the charges. And I recently spoke with her yesterday on the phone when they booked me in. She said that she would call up here around 1 o'clock to see whether, if it's possible, I can release me on the charges. But in order for me to pay the bond, I get paid this Friday. I have no way to get my paycheck because he pays me through a check. So I will have no way to pay the bond. And all I have is the money that is left on my property. I can use some of that money. But I would just say, is it possible you can try to speak with her just to confirm that she wants to drop the charges about these things?
So I thought I heard you say something about Gwinnett County. Well, did I just mishear that, or you?
Yes, that's where they stopped me the other day, and my car was towed, and they transferred me out here to Clayton County because they said I have.
Okay, because the warrant is out of Clayton County. This warrant was written September 2nd, 2021, and apparently, is Sharonda Yancey your mother?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, the number one way that people can drop charges?
I don't.
By not calling the police in the first place.
I understand.
I don't, and that's the thing I think people don't understand is, so officer that drove out there when your mother made the phone call and she made these allegations against you, there's somebody that needed that officer because they had a gun pointed in their face or their house was getting broken into. But your mom, apparently, based upon what you're saying, chose to just call the police for something that she didn't even need to call the police about. Because she just gonna try to drop the charges. Don't work that way. Does not work that way. Don't call the police if it's not an emergency. And then 2 days later, like, oh, I'm gonna drop. No, nope. Doesn't work that way. So tell your mother that judge said it don't work that way. That the next time she wants to call the police, now, if she want to do an incident report about she made a felony false statement, then I'll dismiss your charges and we'll lock her up. It's not a game. So she's gonna have to help you pay that bond. That's the way that she can help you. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Hammett? Sir, you're charged with the felony count of possession of looks like a little bit more than an ounce of marijuana, which makes it a felony. Bond's going to be set at $3,000 for that possession. Hold on, sir. Let me get to the end and you can ask me whatever you want to ask me, okay? Possession of drug-related objects, bond is going to be set at $1,500. And possession of marijuana, 1 ounce or less, bond is going to be set at $1,500. This is a bad copy where I can barely read. Says, look like it says white crystal-like substance. So that's where the $3,000 comes from. So you're gonna have a total bond set at $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, but I got a probation hold time because I found out what they did.
Okay, where's your probation hold out of?
Thank you.
Okay. So I would contact your probation officer and see what they're willing to do. Because I don't know how you've performed on probation, but you know, this is something that probably can get taken care of. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hammond? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Hood?
So, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Hood. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by deception. This is a misdemeanor. The bond has been preset at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Jackson?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Mr. Jackson. You've been charged with 1 count of simple possession of a controlled substance, oxycodone. Bond's going to be set at $3,000. You've also been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, which is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can make this bond at $4,500?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
So it says that you make more than, well, I'm not going to put your
I need
business.
to buy my own lawyer, basically. Right?
Yeah, you make too much for me to appoint a lawyer. Okay. All right. You're free to go back, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right. Mr. King?
Okay.
Mr. King, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
No, sir, I come to, I come to, get my mom to say, cause, what they arrested me for was, a trespass charge that I ain't trespassed. And, I talked to my, counsel at the jail when I first came in, I told her, then she gave me a bond. And then she said, the next time, it happened again, she said, I just go to the bond and then I was supposed to pick up some, I was supposed to, I said, when I was here a while ago, I was supposed to go get some information to the bond. And I didn't get the information to the bond. And she just called me, she just gave me a card. She just said, next time, just give go right now. When you get out, just go right now and just get all the paperwork to the bottom and everything be out. That's what she told me. That's the social security. Yeah.
So is that a yes, sir?
Yes,
Okay. There's gonna be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from an Ishmael King. Do you understand that?
yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, no, sir. That should be fine right there, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's fine right there. November 3rd. Yes. 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 I already have lawyer already at the bond. And so she did, yeah. So once I go to the bond, she said everything be good. When I give all the paperwork to my bond, she said the lawyer be already.
Okay, so you have a lawyer?
Yeah, I have a lawyer already.
All right, sir, you are free to go back.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right.
Mr. Lane.
Yes, sir.
So you're charged with one count of aggravated assault by strangulation and one count of kidnapping. I'm gonna deny bond at this point of those two offenses. You're charged with 6 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And I'm gonna set bond at $3,000 apiece on those offenses. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And you're also gonna have a bond hearing date set for October. Nope, can't do that. I'm sorry. I said October, but it should have been November. This bond hearing date is gonna get moved over. Give me 1 second. Did not consider this. Right now I have it set for the 26th, but that's a holiday. So I'm gonna have to give you a different date. All right, it's gonna be December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Lane. Michael Lane.
That's the other one who got transferred to the other jail.
Ah, thank you.
The next one will be Mr. Newton.
Mr. Newton. Okay. Good afternoon, sir. You've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Stay away provision on this bond and stay away from Shikanitra Nash. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir. Just one.
Sure.
Well, when I was at home, it was no family violence. It was just me and my son. I'm trying to see why do I have family violence on there? He charged me for my TV being broke. It was already broke days ago. I didn't call him. I was sitting in my house on the sofa. My son's upstairs asleep, and police knock on my door. I'm smoking a cigarette. They saying they doing a welfare check. So the TV had already been sitting there, bro. I just never cleaned it up. This is what I was charged with. Shanitra Nance wasn't even at my house. I don't even know how she's a victim of anything. I don't know how I got family violence, and it wasn't no crimes. It wasn't nothing.
So, criminal trespass can be committed in two ways. One is that you're at a location that you were told not to return to, or you refuse to leave a certain location. The other way is that you did something to damage commonly used property. In this situation, they're alleging that that you admitted to breaking the TV, and that by breaking the TV, it deprived the other people in the house of the opportunity to the use and enjoyment of that television.
Yes, sir, but I was actually saying it because I was trying to get a bond reduction from it because she transferred money out of my account. Can I get it the visa? What that mean? I'm gonna have to pay like $300, 300.
Yes, sir.
Can it be two?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Do you want me to see if you qualify for? Yes, I already did that. All right, sir. You're free to go back. Mr. Parks. Good afternoon, Mr. Parks. You're charged with one count of family violence battery as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000, and one count of criminal trespass, damage to property. Also as a misdemeanor, bond is going to be set at $4,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Skyisha McClure. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Patrick. Sir, you've been charged with one count of arson in the third degree. This is being written as a misdemeanor offense. I'm going to set the bond at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
What is arson in third degree?
I'm sorry.
What is arson in third degree?
Okay. So the allegation in your case is that you damaged the property of another, that you took property belonging to the wife of Jaquila Patrick without her permission and set it on fire. Says the property was clothing, jewelry, miscellaneous electronics, placed them in a pile in the back of the property and set it on fire, causing damage to the property and depriving Jaquila Patrick of the use of that property.
In the state of Georgia, when you're married, is everything shared?
Yes,
So her property would be my property and my property would be her property?
yes.
Okay. So is it safe to say I destroyed my own property?
Well, part of it was hers. You can't, I mean, 50-50 is 50-50. So you destroyed 50% of your property and 50% of her property.
What was the bill again?
$4,000.
What was
There's Mr. Patrick, I'll tell you, as a person that's been married almost 20 years, best thing to do is to walk away. There's nothing worth going before a judge. Okay. All right, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Perimule?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How do I pronounce your name, sir?
Perumo.
Perum?
Perumo.
Permu. I'm sorry. I got Southern lips and tongue, but I always believe I should give people the respect of calling them by their name. Sir, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery and 1 count of family violence, cruelty to children. You're gonna have a $4,000 bond set on the simple battery and a $3,000 bond set on the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Both of these are misdemeanor offenses. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Before I get to the other question, let me ask you this. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm not going to place a stay away provision on this. And I just,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, I don't think it's warranted, but also, you know, putting my trust in you that you're not gonna go throw gasoline on a fire.
No, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Shivers?
How you doing, Judge?
I'm doing well, sir. You've been charged with a number of offenses that some of them I can't set bond at this stage. The burglary and aggravated assault by strangulation bond is not going to be set. At this stage, I'm going to set a $5,000 bond on the family violence battery. I'm going to set a $3,000 bond on the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. $2,000 bond on obstruction of an officer. Another $5,000 bond on the 2nd battery charge. And $4,000 bond on criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. You're gonna have
Go ahead.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning. And you're gonna have a bond hearing date set for December 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I do.
Okay. Are you currently working, sir?
I actually supposed to start back, Monday, so that's actually what I'm going on, but I'm gonna let you handle your business right then when I talk.
Okay. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now I cut you off. What is it that you wanted to say to me?
The two that you said that you couldn't appoint a bond for.
The burglary and the aggravated assault by strangulation.
Okay, with those two, like, what is it that I can do to get a bond for those two? Because, this is what I'm gonna tell you, sir, I know you're not, eligible to do whatever you gotta do, but, I'm a coach of a 9U team that's number 9 in the state. I was at the wrong place, wrong time. I got into an altercation with my girl, which happened. I don't have to go around her. I can make bond. All I'm asking for is bond for those two charges, where I can make bond, where I can handle things personally when I get out of here. Like, I'm all my two boys have.
When you say handle that personally, that has an ominous
Oh,
ring
no,
to it.
no. When I say ominous ring to it, because I'm a person to where, a lot of people like to do things on their own time. You feel what I'm saying? And with my support cast and the team that I coach, I know that I have the proper people to talk to and get the way I need, get the way I need to handle. But I know I can make the bond, and I don't have to be around her. I really have to be around my two sons. Like, really, like my oldest son.
No, I mean, I get it. I understand it. It's the thing, just so that you know,
Yes, sir.
you're not the only person that comes and speaks to me about their kids. And my thing is, who were you thinking about when this allegation supposedly happened?
At the time,
You wasn't thinking about the kids.
At the time I was being selfish. And with that being said, like I said, you don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. What I'm saying is, the dates you just set, I'll lose a whole lot. And it'll take a whole lot longer to fix the situation. That's all I'm saying, sir. I don't want to lose I don't want to lose the job that I'm gonna get or anything. And I have to be there for my children. That's all I'm asking for, the bond for these two charges.
You got to be there for your kids 24/7, 365. You can't take 2 hours off to do some craziness.
And that morning,
I hold on, sir. Hold on. Can't take time off to do some craziness and then go back to being there for your kids.
Absolutely right.
I mean, does that make sense to you? I mean, it's I'm pulling up your criminal history, and things are crazy today, so thought I had it all printed up. I mean, all set up. I'll tell you this, Mr. Is it Shivers or Shivers?
Shivers, sir.
Shivers. Okay, deputy, hold on to Mr. Shivers until the end. I'm not gonna hold everybody else up while looking for this, but I'm gonna give you a fair shake, sir. I'm gonna take a look at your criminal history and we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
I need to step away.
Yeah, they'll tell you where to go. Mr. Simmons. Okay, sir, you've been charged with one count of, excuse me, criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. One count of obstructing or hindering law enforcement officer. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And one count of simple battery on a law enforcement officer. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. So that's a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Solomon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solomon, sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond's going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a preliminary hearing date set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. The date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Not at all. Just you said that the bond was 2,000
Yes, sir.
and there are no restrictions.
No restrictions.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Mr. Welch.
Hi, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Welch, sir, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. I'm also going to set your bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, you can. I just don't think I do.
Okay. Like I like to say, I'm not a lawyer drug dealer. I don't like slang lawyers down your throat. If you don't want a lawyer,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
okay. You do well. I think you make a little bit too much, Miss Welch. You make a little bit too much.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
I do not. Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good day.
You as well.
All right. So we have Mr. Gardner and Mr. Williams.
Your Honor.
Okay. You can bring them both up at the same time if you want, or one at a time. Either way is fine by me.
Okay, they're both coming up.
Okay. Do you have deputies? You have like an Aldwin Wilson there also?
Wilson, no, Your Honor.
That he should have been a continuance from yesterday. We'll talk about it in a second. Who's Mr. Gardner? Who's Mr. Williams?
Mr. Gardner right here.
Okay. So we're not cousins or like anything like that, are we, Mr. Gardner?
I hope you hear my cousin.
That was the right answer. So you have been charged with being a fugitive from justice wanted out of looks like it says Alachua County, Florida, Sheriff's Office out of Florida
Yes, sir.
on a probation violation warrant.
Yes, sir.
And so you have the same rights and privileges as everybody else that has appeared before me, but you're in sort of a special situation in that Clayton County has no interest in your guilt or innocence. We're here holding you from a statutory duty, from what's called an interstate compact. So if we had somebody that was down in Florida, we want them to hold that person until we could come and get that person. So that's why we're holding you.
Yes,
Has anybody spoken to you yet about this whole process of waiving or not waiving
yes,
your
sir.
right? Okay. Have you had an opportunity to think about that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have an idea what you may want to do?
Sign the paper so I can get down there.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me about this process?
Only thing I just want to make sure where it says, having been informed of my right to whatever it says, habeas corpus. What does that mean?
Habeas corpus that's the way, habeas corpus is a Latin term that means produce the body. And what that is like you have a right to go before a judge to challenge whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the warrant exists.
No. Everything, yeah. It's me.
Okay.
They've been looking for me. It's me.
Okay. Are there any other questions that you have of me?
So what all I gotta do is just sign it and they on the way.
Yep. And the clock starts to run today. They're going to send me that document that you've signed and I'm going to sign it. And then the clock will begin to run.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Sign all 7 pages.
Yes, sir. And when you do that, you'll be free to go back.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
I appreciate you, y'all.
No problem. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
So you appeared yesterday before Judge Banda.
Yes, sir.
And apparently the warrant was not filled out. They have since filled the warrant out. And it says that you are wanted out of Virginia State or Richmond, Virginia for firearm and false statement. Says statement consent, and it looks like it says federal warrant. So have you spoken to anybody about this whole process?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay, so do you want me to explain the process to you?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so whenever anyone is arrested and they're held in another jurisdiction, they have a label that's placed in them called fugitive from justice. And all that means is that there's a warrant for your arrest out of another state. And when you got arrested, that state indicated that they will extradite, meaning they intend to come get you. So the process, which is the habeas corpus that Mr. Gardner was speaking of, that's the process for which you challenge whether you should be sent anywhere. And what happens during that hearing, there are 2 basic things that are determined. One, whether you're the person named in the warrant, whether you are John Roscoe Williams III, and second, whether the warrant actually exists. And that's all that a judge here would have to make the determination of. And once that judge considers and finds those 2 facts, the judge will sign off on your being extradited back to Virginia. And then on the date that the judge signs the writ, that begins the process, the 30-day process of running. So when you're demanding a hearing, it could be as long as 90 days before you have the hearing. And at the end of that 90 days, if you have that hearing, whether it's day 1 or day 89, When the judge signs off on the writ, the clock begins to run from that point. And from a statutory standpoint, the requesting jurisdiction, which is in your place will be Virginia, has 30 days to come get you. They can request an additional 30 days that would make the time up to 60 days. While that's happening, you're sitting here in the Clayton County Jail. If they don't come and get you within the statutory period, Sheriff's Department here can release you out the front door, but it doesn't make the warrant go away. And the warrant is still valid. 5 minutes from getting released out of the front door, you can encounter another law enforcement officer. They run your information. The warrant is still valid. They take you back and the process starts all over again. So if you believe that you're not the person named in the warrant, or if you believe that the warrant is invalid, then that's something you may want to challenge. If you believe that you are the person named in the warrant and the warrant is valid, all you're doing is just spending time down here that you're not dealing with your issue or your charges. I recommend for anyone to hire a lawyer up in Virginia to deal with it, because theoretically your lawyer can get the prosecutor up there to agree to a bond. And there's a date that you agree that you're going to come back to court, and they agree to the bond, and you're out of jail, but you got to travel up to Virginia.
Yes, sir.
So they don't have to spend the money to come down and get you, but, well, not but, and you're not sitting in jail waiting for them to come and get you.
Yeah, I have the ability to make one phone call when the first night I was here, and I haven't been able to use the phone since to follow up on if their attorneys. When I had that initial phone call, they didn't have any information. So I'm not quite sure. My hands are kind of tied myself. I didn't even know there was a warrant for my arrest. Yeah, I would have just turned myself in knowing that.
Right. And there's and it looks like it's saying I thought it was saying a probation or something, but it's not.
I've been at the same address. It'll be 10 years 2 weeks from now. I've been at the same address for 10 years and the same job for 9. I haven't been hiding or ducking and dodging anyone. I just didn't realize it was a one.
It looks, and I'm looking at the warrant number, and it starts 2121 2382 FS, looks like OIU. So it may have been issued this year. So I don't know. But there you're going to be able to use a phone again some point soon. But I would look into hiring a lawyer to help you up there and deal with it up there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You're free to go back.
Thank you for your time.
All right, Mr. Wilson, and then we'll go to Mr. Oh, we don't have Mr. Wilson, do we?
No, sir.
Okay, I have him down as a continuance from yesterday. Let me see.
Quick question, Your Honor. Does Mr. Williams, does he have the option to sign the waiver forms or?
Yes. Yes, he does. You don't have him?
I have him. He just
Okay.
walked out, so I'll let him know.
I thought I heard him, and I apologize if I was wrong, but I thought I heard him say that he was going to sign it. Let me bring him back just to be certain.
My attorney works something out on that, I don't understand. Versus not signing it, and my attorney works on it. Yeah. Okay, all right. And then, Your Honor, can I get the LE number for, I believe, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, for Mr. Wilson, it is 116-8340. And it looks like he appeared yesterday, but there was no warrant documents available. So we just need to bring him down.
Is
So
he also a fugitive as well, or?
I'm sorry. No, he's not. He's charged with theft by taking and criminal trespass.
Okay, got it. And the LA number is 116-8340.
Yes, sir. Is there anyone, can I talk to Mr. Shivers or Shivers?
Yes, he's still here.
Okay, if I could do that while someone is trying to get Mr. Wilson, we can, kill two birds with a stone. One stone.
Judge.
Yes, sir.
And basically what I was saying was, I don't basically work so hard to get myself back in the position that I'm in to where I'm asking for this bond, so I won't fall back into that hole, because if I don't get this bond, Judge, I'm gonna tell you right now, I know it's pretty much gonna be like over, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a bad person.
I do not. Can you explain it to me a little bit?
Okay, I'll explain it to you. Back in 2013, I was falsely arrested for something that I beat and got out. I spent 2 years in jail for it. I got back out, got myself on the right road. I've been there for my children ever since then. I take full accountability for what happened Saturday. Like you said, I didn't think about them. I did not think about them at all. But what I'm saying is, I've been on the road of getting everything together, and everything is finally falling in place. I don't want it to just fall all the way out of the place because it's one mistake that I made because of a female. And I've been teaching my children. Yes, sir.
Let me stop you 1 second. It wasn't a mistake. Anything that you do intentionally is not a mistake. And I'm not saying that you did this intentionally, because I'm not going to discuss the facts of your case.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I take full accountability for it. As a man,
go ahead. I'm looking. I just pulled up.
like I said, as a man, I take full accountability for it. But I haven't been locked up. I haven't been in any more trouble. Like, all I have been doing is I've been into youth football and making sure my kids are straight. Like, my oldest son, he has a very emotional problem. Like, last year, he just texted me saying that he didn't feel it was fair. He tried to kill himself. I've been with him every day. I got him into sports. And something my kid's mother said to me when I got locked up, she said, "You wasn't thinking. You know your son have emotional problems. You know this is gonna drive him crazy. And it's gonna be hard on him." That's all I'm asking is an opportunity to get a bond on these 2 charges, sir. If they come with stipulation to where I have to come in a certain time, cool. I just don't want to lose everything I built off this one mistake and lose everything for my children.
So,
and I'm not trying to throw my children in.
No, and that's fine. I understand what you're saying, but your 2017 conviction out of the cab, where you're placed on 5 years.
Yeah, that's over.
Probation.
I had to do 3 years and I was over. That was over.
And the probation out of 2016 out of Houston County,
that's over.
You got 8 years.
Nah, that was over. That was over. And that was over like 2019. That's why I'm at, that's
When
why
you say over, what do you mean by over?
I did my
Because
last visit.
it's showing as being open.
Yeah, I did my last visit. That's one of the things too, where
Hold on,
my
hold on,
great
hold on, hold on, hold on. I know that you are advocating. So I'm giving you some leeway, but
all I'm
when
saying
you
is
say
my great
over it,
she has all the paperwork. And what I'm saying is by me being out, by me handling everything, I can prove all of this. It'll be very, very hard for me to prove in here.
well, you said she has the paperwork.
Yes, but people move in their own time, so people won't try to get in touch with her. That's all I'm saying, sir. I'll tell
I
you,
hear it.
I can
I
make
hear.
it run. I can get to the paperwork. I can have the paperwork up here tomorrow if I have to. As soon as I get out and have it up here the next day, showing that everything I'm saying is.
How about somebody bring the paperwork and let's take a look at it, and then we make a decision about what we're gonna do.
Damn, it's gonna be hard because they haven't even gave me my first call yet.
Well,
That's the only reason. Damn.
I don't. I mean, what would be your suggestion?
I suggest
that
I'm
that I could do as a judge, that I can do under the laws of this state.
grant the bond for the 2 charges and allow me to come up here and prove.
I got the proof right here before me.
Yeah, I understand that, sir. I had that problem before where I did when the 2017 when I got locked up for going to take a warrant out from someone. I had to prove it then. It got right out. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. You have failed to persuade me.
Well, listen, I don't want to fail to persuade you. All I want to do is get this bond where I can handle this situation personally and get with my auntie, get with my family, and we handle this situation where I can be there for my kids, sir. All I'm saying, I know if I don't get this bond, I don't handle this situation, it's a possibility of losing everything and not even being able to handle anything.
So I tell people this often, is I can't care more about your life than you care.
I care, sir. I didn't take the time to think before the incident, but I could have clearly walked away. But
Yeah. So you know what happens when in those scenarios, Judge Gardner is on TV because Mr. Shivers failed to handle the situation, and there's some people that are dead, and he's saying, yeah, you know, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to do that. It was like it just got out of hand. And
Mr. Gardner, I am a very active person in the community. Like literally, I love every 19 children on my team. I ain't worried about killing nobody.
So, sir, look.
Yes, sir.
I did death penalty defense for almost 20 years.
Yes, sir.
And you know, the one thing my clients were not, they were not the monsters that people painted them to be on TV.
Yes, sir.
Things got out of hand and they couldn't control it, and somebody ended up dead. There is absolutely nothing that I've read in these warrants for your arrest that justify what they said took place.
Yes, sir. I'm just asking for the opportunity, sir.
So this is what we're going to do. I've written on these 2 bonds. I'm denying the bonds because it's 17-10-1. You said you're no longer on probation or parole. You have somebody bring that information, hopefully a lawyer, bring that information to the district attorney's office for them to consider it. And
The lawyer I had at the time, I don't even think she practices anymore. So that's why, that's one of the main reasons that I'm asking for the.
So
for-
you know what you keep
for the,
throwing up, you know what you keep throwing up?
no, sir.
Is when I try to give you avenues for how something can get done to help you, you proceed to tell me how it can't get done.
Oh, no, I'm not, you're right, I'm sorry, sir.
So hey, you don't have a bond, you got some hearing dates set up. If your position is, well, the lawyer that I had before or can't get it done or whatever, fine, you can sit there. But I'm telling you what you need to do in order for this situation to get changed. It took some action and effort for you to get arrested, right? Put that same action and effort in getting yourself out of jail. Okay? It ain't Judge Gardner's fault. It ain't gonna be any other judge's fault.
Detroit Shield's fault.
I know, but what I'm saying is that you're before me for a specific reason. And you know, and deputies, when Mr. Wilson comes, I'll be ready to go. But Mr. Shivers, I'm willing to sit here and try to help you.
Yes, sir. Oh, he's present, Your Honor. He's present.
Okay, so Mr. Wilson, if you can't hire a lawyer, use the appointed lawyer. Have somebody to get that paperwork, a copy of that paperwork from your wife. And if you're done with probation, then you're done. What I presume is that you were placed on non-reporting probation, which means you're still on probation. Okay. All right. Free to go back, sir.
Could you, I didn't get the numbers of the bonds.
Okay. So there's a $5,000 bond for the family violence battery, a $3,000 bond for the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, $2,000 bond for obstruction of an officer, $5,000 bond for battery causing physical contact, and a $4,000 bond for the criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree.
Okay, 20,000. Okay, sir. And what I need to do is, who I need to have this paperwork brought to?
Your lawyer you need to get it to your lawyer, whomever that person may be, so that the lawyer can take it to the district attorney's office and say, Judge Gardner denied bond for 1710-1, but this shows he's not on probation.
So I have to get a lawyer to present it to the.
You're not going, nobody, no.
Nah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah, see, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that's gonna be the hard thing. I just let my kids know, that's all.
Okay. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Free to go back. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with criminal trespass, with theft by taking as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $2,000, and criminal trespass as a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. So that's a total bond of $5,000. You believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for November 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I knew the first bond and the criminal trespass bond, I had to wait today to see if it was posted. So my mom's just been sitting around. So when do you think it'll be posted?
So I have to do the paperwork. So it'll get posted today. Like you're actually the last person that I have to see. So when we're done with this, I'm gonna flip over and start doing the paperwork on the back end. Generally takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But if your mom is going through a bonding company, you know the bond amounts now, you can contact the bonding companies and tell them the name, the charge, and all of that stuff, and they can get everything set up so that as soon as this hits their system, they can write the bond or secure the bond, and then you're done, and you're walking out.
Bonding out from the courthouse is quicker.
I'm sorry, sir.
Bonding from the jail is quicker.
If you got the entire bond amount, I'm not going to say it's necessarily quicker, but it's cutting down some steps. And the reason I say that is because I don't work for the jail. I know it goes through bonding, and it's going to have to go through bonding in the sheriff's department either way it goes. So.
All right, I'll wait, because usually they say, I mean, I don't know if you know about this, usually they say things post around 4 or 5 o'clock. But my mom is going to work today, so I'll just have to, I mean, you say once she goes to the bond place, she can set everything up and leave the money there?
She can make the arrangements with the bonding company, yes.
Okay, that's it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the rest of y'all I'm gonna let go free. You're free to go back, sir. Judge Bridgewater, I want to talk to you for a second. So I'm gonna remove everybody except for Judge Bridgewater.
Thanks.